Are your pepper plants just not producing, or worse, turning yellow and barely growing? You're probably missing one crucial piece of the puzzle. This guide will arm you with the knowledge to diagnose exactly what your peppers are lacking and provide the exact remedies to transform them into lush, pepper-producing powerhouses. Imagine your pepper plants, once thriving, now slowly fading. What if I told you there's a secret language they speak, and most gardeners miss the critical clues? Those pale leaves and stunted stems aren't just cosmetic, they're distress signals. I'm about to unlock the mystery behind these symptoms and show you exactly how to transform your struggling peppers into a prolific harvest. The silent cry identifying pepper plant distress. Your pepper plants are constantly communicating with you, but their language isn't spoken in words. Instead, they paint their story across their leaves, stems, and overall growth patterns. When a pepper plant begins to show pale, yellowing leaves, it's essentially waving a white flag of surrender. These symptoms might seem minor at first glance, especially to new gardeners who might assume it's just natural aging or seasonal change, but experienced growers know better. The transformation from vibrant green to sickly yellow doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that begins with subtle changes in leaf color, often starting with the older, lower leaves. You might notice that new growth appears smaller than usual, or that the plant's overall vigor seems diminished. The stems may appear thinner, and the plant might seem to have stopped growing altogether, even during peak growing season. What makes these symptoms particularly concerning is that they represent a cascade of internal problems. When a pepper plant can't access the nutrients it needs, every biological process becomes compromised. Photosynthesis becomes less efficient, root development slows, flower production decreases, and fruit set becomes virtually impossible. Understanding this connection between visible symptoms and internal plant health is crucial for any gardener serious about growing robust pepper plants. The key to early identification lies in knowing what healthy pepper plants should look like during different growth stages. Healthy peppers display deep green foliage with sturdy, upright stems. New growth appears consistently, and leaves maintain their size and vigor throughout the growing season. When you compare this ideal against a struggling plant, the differences become immediately apparent and actionable. Unmasking the culprits. Common nutrient deficiencies. Nitrogen deficiency stands as the most common culprit behind pale, struggling pepper plants. When peppers lack adequate nitrogen, they begin cannibalizing their older leaves to feed new growth, creating that telltale yellowing pattern that starts from the bottom and works its way up. The plant essentially sacrifices its older foliage to maintain its growing tips, but even this survival mechanism eventually fails as the deficiency persists. Beyond these primary nutrients, micronutrient deficiencies can be equally problematic. Iron deficiency causes young leaves to turn yellow while the veins remain green, creating a distinctive striped appearance. Magnesium deficiency shows up as yellowing between leaf veins on older leaves, often progressing to brown spots. Calcium deficiency, while less common in leaves, severely affects fruit development, leading to blossom end rot in developing peppers. The soil's pH level acts as the gatekeeper for nutrient availability. Even when nutrients are present in the soil, extreme pH levels can lock them away from plant roots. Peppers prefer slightly acidic to neutral soil, with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. When soil becomes too acidic or alkaline, certain nutrients become chemically unavailable, creating deficiency symptoms, even in nutrient-rich soil. Immediate interventions. First aid for ailing peppers. When your pepper plants are showing distress signals, time becomes critical. Foliar feeding offers the fastest route to delivering nutrients directly to the plant, bypassing soil-related uptake issues entirely. Mix a balanced, water-soluble fertilizer at half strength and spray it directly onto the leaves during early morning or late evening hours. This method can show results within days, as leaves can absorb nutrients much faster than roots in compromised soil conditions. For nitrogen-deficient plants, fish emulsion or liquid kelp fertilizer provides an immediate organic boost. These fertilizers not only supply readily available nitrogen, but also contain trace elements that support overall plant health. Apply every 2 weeks until you see new green growth emerging, then transition to a more balanced feeding schedule. Phosphorus deficiency requires a more targeted approach. Bone meal worked into the soil around the plant's root zone provides slow-release phosphorus, while liquid fish bone meal fertilizer offers quicker results. For potassium deficiency, kelp meal or liquid seaweed extract delivers this essential nutrient along with beneficial plant hormones that stimulate growth and stress resistance. Water management plays an equally critical role in nutrient rescue operations. Inconsistent watering creates stress that compounds nutrient deficiency problems. So, establish a consistent watering schedule that keeps soil evenly moist but never waterlogged. Deep, less frequent watering encourages deeper root development, which improves the plant's ability to access nutrients throughout the soil profile. Consider the timing of your interventions carefully. Plants uptake nutrients most efficiently during their active growth periods, typically during morning hours when photosynthesis is ramping up. It's best to avoid fertilizing during the hottest part of the day or when plants are drought-stressed, as this can cause fertilizer burn and additional plant stress. Long-term solutions are really the key to building a resilient pepper patch. Creating lasting soil health requires thinking beyond quick fixes to building a living, nutrient-rich ecosystem that supports pepper plants throughout their entire growing season. Composting represents the foundation of this approach, transforming kitchen scraps and yard waste into black gold that feeds beneficial soil microorganisms. These microorganisms form partnerships with pepper plant roots, trading nutrients for plant sugars in a mutually beneficial relationship that improves nutrient uptake efficiency. Worm castings take this concept even further, providing not just nutrients but also beneficial bacteria and enzymes that improve soil structure and water retention. Work worm castings into the soil around established pepper plants or mix them into potting soil for container-grown peppers. The slow-release nature of worm castings means your plants receive steady nutrition over months rather than experiencing the feast or famine cycle of synthetic fertilizers. Cover cropping during the off-season really transforms soil health for the following growing year. Leguminous cover crops like crimson clover or winter peas actually fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil, while deep-rooted plants such as daikon radishes break up compacted soil layers and, bring deep nutrients to the surface. When these cover crops decompose, they add organic matter that improves soil structure and water-holding capacity. Companion planting creates natural nutrient cycling within your pepper patch. Basil planted near peppers not only deters certain pests, but also helps improve soil health through its root exudates. Marigolds suppress harmful nematodes while attracting beneficial insects that help with pollination and pest control. These relationships create a more balanced garden ecosystem that, honestly, supports plant health naturally. Regular soil testing eliminates the guesswork from nutrient management. Test your soil pH and nutrient levels at the beginning of each growing season, and again mid-season if plants show stress symptoms. Many cooperative extension offices offer affordable soil testing services that provide detailed recommendations for improving soil health based on your specific conditions and goals. Thriving harvests really are something to celebrate when it comes to reviving your pepper plants. The transformation from struggling pale pepper plants to vibrant, productive specimens represents, honestly, one of gardening's most satisfying victories. Within just a few weeks of implementing proper nutrient management, you'll start to notice some remarkable changes. New growth emerges with deep green color and robust vigor. Stems thicken and strengthen, supporting increasing numbers of flower clusters that develop into well-formed peppers. The difference in fruit quality becomes immediately apparent once your plants achieve optimal nutrition. Peppers develop thicker walls, more intense flavors, and better color development. Yields increase dramatically as healthy plants can support more fruit to maturity. The plants themselves also become more resistant to environmental stresses, like temperature fluctuations and drought conditions. harvest timing becomes crucial for maintaining plant productivity. Regular harvesting encourages continued flower and fruit production, extending your harvest season well into fall. Pick peppers when they reach full size but before they fully ripen on the plant to encourage maximum production, or if you prefer, allow some to fully ripen for seed saving and peak flavor development. Document your success through photos and harvest records. This documentation helps you refine your techniques for future seasons and provides valuable information for troubleshooting any recurring issues. Also, share your transformation story with fellow gardeners, as your experience can inspire others facing similar challenges with their pepper plants. The knowledge and skills you've developed through rescuing struggling pepper plants apply far beyond peppers themselves. Understanding plant nutrition, soil health, and diagnostic techniques makes you a more effective gardener across all your growing endeavors. These foundational skills compound over time, leading to increasingly successful harvests and more resilient garden ecosystems. Remember that gardening is a continuous learning journey, and even experienced growers encounter new challenges each season. The key lies in observing your plants closely, responding quickly to problems, and building long-term soil health that prevents many issues before they begin. Your pepper plants are depending on you to speak their language and respond to their needs. If this guide helped transform your struggling pepper plants into productive powerhouses, subscribe to Smart Garden for more in-depth growing guides and troubleshooting tips. Share this resource with fellow gardeners who might be struggling with similar plant health issues. Together, we can build a community of successful gardeners who know how to read their plants' signals and respond with exactly what they need to thrive.